Welcome back to Final Whistle Football News. Your ultimate destination for the latest football news, transfer updates, match previews, and World Cup coverage. Today, we've got some huge stories making headlines around the football world. Why first news is Ruben Amorim agrees to become AC Milan head coach in boost to Manchester United finances. United will not need to pay full £16.7 million compensation to former head coach. Ruben Amorim is poised to return to management after agreeing to become AC Milan's head coach. The move will make Manchester United a significant saving on his compensation package, the club having dismissed him in January. Amorim will replace Massimiliano Allegri at Milan after accepting a 2-year contract, with the option of a third, and will be tasked with turning things around after the club finished 5th in Serie A. Once Amorim is back in work, United will no longer be liable to pay the full £16.7 million compensation package the 41-year-old and his coaching staff were due in the severance deal. AC Milan cleared out a number of senior members of staff after they failed to qualify for the Champions League. The sporting director Igli Ter, chief executive Giorgio Filani and technical director Geoffrey Moncada departed alongside Allegri. Nottingham Forest's chief scout, Pedro Ferreira, is being targeted to join his Portuguese compatriot Amorim at Milan as part of a major overhaul. United's finances have been further boosted by the announcement that they will be the subject of an Amazon All-or-Nothing documentary next season. There were negotiations carried out while Amorim was in charge, but it was decided it was not the right time to follow in the footsteps of Manchester City and Tottenham and grant access to filmmakers. The club will receive an access fee bigger than any paid for previous documentaries in the genre. Cameras will be a constant around the club from the start of pre-season, focusing on the men's team under Michael Carrick, while also taking a look at the women's and academy setups. Now is the right time to open our doors, so that for the first time our fans around the world can see behind the scenes of a club which means so much to so many people, Manchester United Chief Communications Officer, Toby Craig, said. My second news is Japan prepare for tasty World Cup clash with the Netherlands. Netherlands and Japan kick off proceedings in Group F when the sides meet for the first time in over a decade on Friday evening in Dallas. Japan kick off their World Cup campaign against Group F opponents the Netherlands when the sides meet for the first time in over a decade on Friday evening in Dallas. It's dubbed to be one of the most intriguing group stages clashes at the 2026 World Cup, one that hasn't been seen since 2013, with a red-hot Japan facing off against one of Europe's best sides in Ronald Koeman's side. The Dutch head into the tournament off the back of a successful European Championship campaign, reaching the semi-finals only to be knocked out by England, yet Japan could take advantage of some flaws that arose before the tournament. Draws with Poland and Ecuador and losing to Algeria in their pre-World Cup friendlies matches has exposed their vulnerability to get hit on the break and inefficiency against teams who are notoriously tough to break down. This is the epitome of what Hajime Moriyasu's side have been all about in the build-up to a 7th consecutive appearance, with impressive victories in the build-up to this game over Brazil and Ghana. Japan also became the first-ever Asian side to beat England, winning 1-0 at Wembley in March when Brighton winger Keira Mitoma rounded off a ruthless counter-attack to make history for the Blue Warriors. But Japan have never beaten the Netherlands, losing a friendly match in the lead-up to their 1-0 group stage defeat to the Dutch at the 2010 World Cup courtesy of a 53rd-minute striker from retired great Wesley Sneijder. It is just the form they need to carry into the tournament if they are to go through to the knockouts and potentially beyond the round of 16 for the first time in their history as a World Cup nation. They suffered some devastating news this week, however, with Liverpool midfielder Wataru Endo announcing that he wouldn't be able to feature in the tournament after a battle with a foot injury that forced his international retirement. Captain Ko Itakura stressed how important it is to remain united for tournament football, saying, "Getting united is the most important thing in these short-term competitions." Keira Mitoma and Takumi Minamino are also unavailable for the match through injury, yet Japan could be boosted by the potential return of former Arsenal fullback Takahiro Tomiyasu to the side. On the injury front for the Netherlands, Bart Verbruggen is available after doubts over a hip injury whilst Xavi Simons and Jurrien Timber are big absentees for the Dutch after not making the final squad through their respective injuries. Despite that, Koeman is confident heading into the tournament and believes his side have the tools at hand to put together a memorable run. The 63-year-old said, "We want to go far in the tournament. We have a strong team and we know what we need to improve to have a real chance." Japan haven't conceded in their last 5 matches, whereas Netherlands netted 27 times in their 8 qualifying games. So, it could well prove to be a clash of footballing styles that's already been seen several times so far. You would expect Netherlands to have a healthy amount of ball possession, yet Japan have been renowned for their efficiency on the ball and ability to spring fast breakaways. For more detailed reports, reaction, and analysis of the World Cup as it happens, head to our website and favorite our page on OneFootball. My last news is Real Madrid strike agreement for record-breaking Marc Cucurella transfer. Cucurella's move is a consequence of past mistakes for both Chelsea and Real Madrid. Real Madrid and Chelsea have reportedly come to a broad agreement to make Marc Cucurella the club's most expensive left-back of all time. The Spain international cast his own future at Stamford Bridge in uncertainty after taking aim at Chelsea's unorthodox approach towards the end of a disappointing 2025-26 season. While Cucurella had recently opened himself up to the prospect of giving the project another chance following the exciting addition of Xabi Alonso as manager, it appears as though Real Madrid's offer was more compelling. A verbal agreement between all involved parties was first claimed by Fabrizio Romano on Sunday. José Mourinho, Madrid's freshly reappointed manager, was thought to have singled Cucurella out as his ideal left-back target in a position which caused plenty of problems for the Spanish giants last term. Madrid are expected to splash as much as $69.4 million, £51.8 million, €60 million, on the 27-year-old, with a fixed fee of €55 million supported by a further €5 million in potential bonuses, per The Athletic. This represents something of a coup for Madrid, who have beaten the likes of Barcelona, Cucurella's boyhood club, Atletico Madrid and Manchester City to the signature of one of the Premier League's best left-backs, but it also underscores the costly mistakes of a club trying to spend their way back to the top.